Good afternoon guys, and welcome back to another Kit Car Direct and MK Sportscars workshop walk, week 20. Flying by, May's nearly over, it's crazy. Don't know how quick these weeks are going this year. Obviously it's a bit of relief that we've had some news that a little bit more freedom for us out there, but not too much we hope, and keeping that 2 metres safe distances, and we're all going to keep safe so that we can get out in our cars soon. I see some track day information being relayed out there at the moment as well, that possibly some track day dates coming up as well, so I'm sure we're all getting excited and trying to get our cars ready for that, because it feels like a long time ago that we was able to do it. So get your cars ready, you know where you are. If you need parts and you need to hook up, give us a shout. But before we head out in the workshop there, I just got a little part to show you. We've had in with these machine parts come in this week. We do these billet gear levers. We do two, they're the same. Hopefully I'm on my own again. It's Saturday afternoon. One here as a logo, hopefully you can zoom in on that, hopefully there. And then we do one as a plane, so if you're not an MK branded car, then you can do the plain ones, it's not a problem. They're available. We've got about half a dozen of each of those in stock and on the shelf, just arrived in. We're gradually seeing a lot of companies and parts that we deal with, and companies we deal with who manufacture parts for us, starting to open up as well. So that's great news, and we can hopefully get back to delivering a bit quicker on some of the lead times as well. Still on a little bit of skeleton staff, so bear with us. We're on email, we're on phone calls, we're still taking it all, which sometimes a little bit slow on reaction times at the moment, so apologies for that again. But hopefully we'll get back to some kind of normality in the coming months. So we head out into the workshop now. We'll show you what we've been getting up to, and we'll crack on. Okay, so the first car out in the workshop here, this Lotus 64 is back in. Very pretty little car. I'd seen this probably a few months ago now. We had it in, we was doing loads of work on it. It's been with the owner for a couple of months. Had a problem with the clutch. Original clutch you put in it was a heavy duty clutch because it had been modified the engine, but it was found to be too heavy, i.e. you got a bit of leg shake, it's quite heavy. So we've taken the engine out this week, re-put in a new clutch plate which the owner provided, standard clutch rather than heavy duty. We also changed the clutch master cylinder, and also down in here the clutch slave cylinder to a 7/8 bore instead of a 3/4, and that's given such a different feel to the clutch pedal. Feels like a normal clutch should be before, extremely firm, but a pretty car. It's had a sort of very good restoration now to it, and he's going to be putting around the A and B roads pretty soon in this. So nice classic style instrumentation. So yeah, he's got a couple of bits to do, like the boot cover, I think, just to finish off, and changing the wheels to suit. He's got some other spec wheels instead of these mini lights. But, yeah, that go back to the customer today. So engine out, engine, and everything this week. As you can see, these are pretty tricky to put back together when you've got these throttle, carbs and manifolds having to bolt together. They're a bit tricky, and then, believe it or not, very tight to get these out. You have to take the front water pump pulley off on these down in here to get the engine out. Believe it or not, even though it's such a small little pre-crossflow engine, it's bored out I think nearly 1600, just under. So yeah, very tight little car. Right, that's it. We'll move on to the next one. So moving on from the Lotus there, just some parts have arrived in just not long ago now. We've been manufacturing it, etc. as well. We've got down here, we've got front splitters, stone guards, some fiberglass parts, some roll bars come in. And Wayne will be pleased, his yellow front wishbones have arrived. I've got some screens arrived now as well. They've all been come back from the glaziers as well, so we've got some screens and parts in. But it's always good to get them in here. We've got these parts coming in steadily now, a bit more frequent, so that's good news. And on for the Lotus, we've got another thread there. Powder coaters have reopened, although on skeleton staff we've had one chassis in. We've got a few on back order, but we've had a chassis here that we've finished off. We've got the roll bar down here, all the parts, interior panel kit, floor pan, etc. for that. So we hopefully can start buttoning up the parts to get that out to the lucky customer. So Westfield, is next. Where are we here with the Westfield? Well, you can see the front wings have gone on. I know they're a different colour. This car is going to go off to paint after this as well. So we've put new front wings on. We've got to just finish the bonding on of those, and an indicator light. I think we might be putting a indicator light on the side section for it as well for the customer. I say, spoke to you the other week, indicator pods and stuff like that. And then we went round to the rear lights. I'm going to show you where he was. So this is what we fitted this week, which is LED lights on the rear now, rather than the standard fitment with the sort of carbon effect pods. The standard light, here's the two I've put on the back of the car to demonstrate. So this was a standard sort of clear lens one that was on there that fits on this square section here, or rectangular really. And then you've got where the reverse light was and fog light. We're going to be changing those to around as well. But these lights, they're actually designed for non-LED. So you can't just fit them in. You have to modify all this back section on it. All has to be cut out and trimmed to fit the LEDs. So if you've got the standard ones, you want to get LED. It is possible to do them. It's a bit of fiddly, and it can be done. So if you're looking to clean up the back end of your Westfield like that, instead of having this light pack on, then it's doable. So just thought I'd show you the differences between the two. A bit more modern maybe in looking, going for that sort of round. But a nice clean car, that Westfield, and should have that finished and buttoned up by Tuesday, we hope. That should be done. So, right, we'll move on to the next one. While I'm walking past, I thought I would just show you. Parts picked for Monday. Got bulkheads, rounded front wings, dashboards, steering columns, DAC style front wings, 27 splined, so we do get these machined. They are a bit slow at the moment, but we do get the 27 and the 28 splined forward flanges or hub carriers. They are brand new. Then rather than your donor parts, we can get the machine made, but they are 3 to 4 week lead time. I've got 28s in stock at the moment, so if you've got a push-in shaft, that's for the 28. I've got those in stock. I've got about 6 or 7 pairs of those, but the 27s at the moment, I'm still waiting. Machine shop that deals with us, they're a little bit behind because they opened up a bit later. We've got some carbon sheets to go out, seats, etc. as well. So moving on down, a little bit of work. As I say, it's been electrics, but I'm waiting for stuff to come back from our electrical supplier who's been doing bits for this on the ECU wiring loom. So, but what we have started fabricating today is the sort of air duct that's coming over here and into the intercooler. So this is going to come down, and then we're just going to bring this a little bit lower into here, and so when the front nose is on, it would come up the air and then force it into, this is going to have a side return on it to force it into the intercooler and seal that off, so we get a nice cold air feed into that. And also it separates the fans kicking in on your radiator, all that warm air getting up towards your intercooler there. So that will be, once that's finally fitted, that will go off and we'll powder coat that as well, black to match the rest of Phil's project Busa Turbo, which we know is looking very shiny and very, very nice indeed. So next car, we'll move on. So Indy RR Busa, we started to build on this a few weeks ago. We've been trying to fit other cars in as well, like the Lotus in this week as well, which was an engine out, engine in, so we've a little bit down on manpower as well. But we've got all the front A-arms on. They're fitted because they're all rose joint. We have to tap all of these out beforehand. So if you're doing an Indy R, remember these joints with the powder coat, it's best to just run a tap through them all, and then you can shim them, put the bottom and top ball joints on. We've got the drag links on, bottom ball joints ready to go. So we've got steering rack on, aluminium radiator. We do our oil cooler mounting kit on those on the front as well. So that's all on, which is nice and neat and tight. It's a nice 70mm coil rad. I think we showed you that last week. They're the brackets for the just see a rubber mount that we use for the dry sump tank. And in the rear, we've got parts of the rear section on now: suspension, top and bottom A-arms, dampers. We said about fuel tank and diff last week as well. And then we're just finishing putting the dry shafts together now. It's all new, brand new dry shafts and stub axles and CV joints on this particular one, and uprights assembly as well, CV boots to be going on. So they're ready, prepped, and I think they'll Monday we'll carry on with that as well. And then wiring loom has been labelled and shortened for us, ECU flashed, etc. as well, so that's a bit of a pig of a job to do. Nobody loves wiring, but relatively simple. If you look at manuals and colours, it's actually break it down into component parts, it's not too bad, but a bit boring looking at wiring. Doesn't really excite anybody, I don't think, but it's an important, really important part of the car. If that fails, then you ain't got a car, so you need to make sure it's buttoned down nice and tight. So yeah, that's where we're kind of at the moment on the Busa car. And the CBR car, which was this one here, we're still waiting on parts, unfortunately, the rear wings and other such parts. We showed you the new bonnet scoop on that, so it's undercover, unfortunately, at this particular moment in time. So, walking back, I forgot about one thing that we'd actually done as well, which is this S2000 sump. So I thought I'd just give you a snippet shot that you can see here. We do the S2000 baffle plates. They're a welding affair, unfortunately, they aren't a bolting affair. So, as you can see on here, we've cleaned all the sump up, ready, etc., and then welded, stitch welding the baffle plate for a customer as well. So if you're looking at S2000, you can a little bit of help with oil surge protection on your track day. That S2000 billet baffle plate will certainly help for you.
Hi guys, welcome to my lockdown garage video. My name's Dave. I've done one of these videos about 7 weeks ago when I just got my kit. At that time I had the chassis up on the stands, brake and fuel lines fitted. I was just starting to do the rear suspension. In the last just over 7 weeks, quite a lot's changed as I've been at home, and I'll show where I'm at now. Well, as you can see, we have an almost complete car. Engine's all fitted, all the transmission fitted, as I'm sure many of you may know from my almost daily posts on the owners group on Facebook. Stripes all on. Rear suspension's all fitted, just been finishing off bleeding the brakes this morning. All the lights all fitted. The exhaust got fitted yesterday. Dashboard's all fitted up. Happy with that. And inside here, as I think I said on my first instalment, I was going to paint the engine Kawasaki green. And there it is, in Kawasaki green wrinkle paint. There's a couple of other little bits I've picked up. There's a bit of a mess in here. It's my toolbox. That's what I've been using. The OBP pedal box in there. And the magical moment. Very happy with progress so far. A few more bits left to do. I'll finish off the interior. Other than that, I think I better start getting booking the IVA test. Right guys, thanks for watching. Stay safe.
Right, that's it for week 20. As I said earlier, don't know where the weeks are going. Absolutely flying by. But it's fantastic, and hopefully we're getting some good news, and we all keep it safe. We can get out and play with our cars soon, and we're certainly excited to come and do that, and to maybe meet up some customers again. And yeah, we'll we'll let you know when we're looking for visitations and allowing visitors in, and obviously we've got to put some procedures in place for that. So we'll be looking to do that over the coming weeks and months, and hopefully we can then touch base with all our customers. So keep safe, guys, out there. Thanks again, and we'll say it again, all our key workers. I know we applaud you all on the Thursday night, I certainly do. But yeah, from all of us at MK and Kit Car Direct, thanks again for all your support. Keep safe out there, guys. Like, share. You know where we are. Catch you next week.